started. And I just want to welcome all of you. I'm Lindsay Howie. I am head of dance and assistant professor of dance for High Point University. I also want to acknowledge that Grace Ann Letzinger is on this as well. She's a current dance major and she's our senior this year. She's here and she's going to help me. If you all have a question, if there's anything that I can do, just put it in the chat, and Grace Ann is going to help me stay on task tonight because she knows that I am a talker and I can talk forever. So she's going to keep me on it. And also, I just want to say that, I am a mom. I've got 3 kids. I have told them that I'm on this call and it is extremely important, but I can't promise that something is going to happen. So just if it does, just disregard it. It's all good. Okay. But I am going to share, I have a really nice presentation. Some of you I've actually already talked to, and if we have, it's really nice to see you again. And if we haven't, please reach out to me. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. Finding the right college, finding the right fit is an important decision, and I'm happy to help wherever I can. And I always tell prospective students, and Sophie, who's on here as well, can actually attest to this, even if it's not High Point, I know people around at different universities. So if you're looking for a specific program, anything I can do to try to help you, it's my job to do that. I want you to come to High Point, of course, but I also want to make sure that this is the right fit for you. But I am happy to reach, across to other universities and find the right fit. So I'm going to share this PowerPoint with you all. Can everybody see that okay? Thumbs up. Yeah, awesome. So, most of you, I feel like that High Point, we do offer a BA in dance. This is a newer degree. We actually just introduced it in 2017. And I've been at High Point for a few years now. And when I started in this position, we had a minor. It was thriving. I have lots of students, but I kept coming up to, in situations where people would ask, well, do you offer a major? Can you major in dance? And I would say no. And I felt like I was turning students away. So I got the curriculum together, got it passed through. And so now we offer a BA in dance, which is really exciting. It's important to know too, if you're on a college, search, that you understand the differences between like a BA degree and then a BFA degree. Again, look at the university, look at the curriculum, because they, again, can vary. BFA tends to be a little bit more conservatory-like, a little bit more pre-professional. The BA is, we follow along with our liberal arts, philosophy. You're going to get a little bit of everything. We're going to throw a lot at you. You can double major. The BA degree allows for students to double major if that's something that you're interested in. So again, try to make sure that you understand the difference and what the degree is. In my opinion, if you want to dance professionally, I don't really think that the BA and the BFA is a huge difference. I don't think it makes a huge difference on your resume, but again, it's about the environment and the community in which, the university can provide for you. So let's see, if you don't know about High Point, but High Point, we are in North Carolina. We're kind of in the middle of the state. We're close to Greensboro. We're close to Winston-Salem, a couple hours from the beach, a couple hours from the mountains. So, depending on location wise, I think we kind of have it the best here in North Carolina. I'm a little bit prejudiced, but so yeah, this is High Point. Again, it's a smaller town, but there's access, Charlotte's right down the road. So I feel like, we have access to the bigger things around us. So that's High Point. So our department, we offer a BA in dance. We are the Department of Theater and Dance. So we separate programs, but we're housed together. We offer a BA in dance, a BA in theater, and then we also have minors in dance, musical theater, and then of course theater. Total, we have approximately 60 to 70 students. That number can fluctuate depending on, people adding minors or dropping minors and stuff like that. And then typically we have 2 dance concerts, 1 musical, and 3 plays. And those are generally just like our main stage productions. Grace Ann can attest to this. There are other opportunities for performance. So it's not, this is not the only time that you'll have, be in rehearsal or be on the stage. There's a lot of opportunities for student work. There's a lot of opportunities for, like, Grace Ann will talk at the end, she has her senior thesis, her capstone project. So that's just the main stage, with other opportunities there for sure. We bring in guest artists as much as we can. This year, obviously, has been a little bit different with COVID. I've tried really hard. I've thought about bringing in and doing some virtual master classes for dance, but we did that for so long. I think dancers got really put out with virtual, Zoom dance classes. So I don't know. I've been a little bit on the fence to bring in guest artists, but in a typical year, we do bring other artists and dancers and choreographers on campus to work with our students, to set choreography on our students, which is just a really important, it's an important process that we want our students to have to work with guest artists. And then, of course, we offer what we call our company philosophy as well. We work under a company of, theater and dance, where, we're helping on each other's productions. And we think that's really important. Even though we're separate programs, we still try to have that company philosophy. There's also a theater, a theater group. And then we also have a dance company that is a student-run organization as well. And Grace Ann is our current president, director. She does everything. dance company, which is, it's a thriving organization, and it's really great. That company, they offer drop-in classes, weekly drop-in classes. We've actually this semester upped it to 2 per week, or I think we might be alternating every other, but we're getting more of a need and want, so people can come in and just get some extra technique and just kind of feel a part of something. So this is just kind of a general, again, a general look at our department. So, you can take a second and look at our mission. For me, I always think about what, as a teacher and as an educator, like, I enjoy that. Like, I love being in the studio. I love being in the classroom, but I like making the connections and almost being that mentor to our students, to help them with their art, their dance making, their technique. But also, it's really big for me, for my students, to just be good human beings. I try to have interactions and just make them think about life after college, just life in general. So it's really important to me that, yes, they're there to dance. Our students are there to dance and learn dance history and composition, but I want them to be the best human beings that they can actually be. So, it's meaningful. It's a meaningful connection for me. And then, the same thing, you can take a second and read, our mission. Mutual respect, that word really pops out at me, for mutual respect among their peers, faculty, the other students on campus. We teach empathy, right? Which I think the world needs a lot of right now. And so empathy is really big in my classroom and in my work and in my rehearsals, and just being supportive, communicative. Times are changing, right? I feel like, especially for, if I can be a little personal, I'm 38. I was a few years ago, and I was teaching when I was performing in professional companies, it was, I felt like it was just so hard. You had to be perfect, and the dancers didn't care, the choreographers didn't care who you were just this dancing robot. And that just isn't the case anymore. Like, we get to know our dancers. We want to get to know our students. And I think that's really, really important. I keep coming back to empathy, and I keep coming back to support, and I keep coming back to just being just better humans. Like, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the life, what is our legacy? Just to be the best that we can be. And I hope that doesn't sound cheesy, but I really honestly do believe it. Like, it's important to me that our students, are professional and have a great long career, but I want them to just be good in their hearts. I'm constantly saying, just be good in your heart, listen to your heart. So that's really important to me. It's important to all of us in the theater and dance department, but just personally. I am proud of the fact that we're small. I like that we have a small program. It lets me have more interaction and time with our students. So the small class size and personal attention is really big for me. You know, you can ask Grace Ann, and I'm happy to share her emails if y'all want to kind of have some more one-on-one time when I'm not, in the room. But most of the time my students, they have my cell phone, right? Like they can text me, they can call me, they know they can reach me. And I think that's important. And I feel like with bigger programs, you may not have that access. So at High Point, you're going to know your faculty very well. Um, Also, the student opportunities, you have unlimited resources. I mean, I've always said to my students, like, if you have an idea, like, let's make it happen. You don't have to wait for us to have auditions. Go. I mean, we set aside numerous weekends for students to create their own works. And, we're there to help guide a little bit, but it's self-produced work. Um, like I said before, the HPU Dance Company, the active production schedule, you are going to be in rehearsal if you want to, right? If you choose to audition and you want to be a part of it, you will be in rehearsal most of the semester. Again, the small class size, personal attention, and double majoring, I know, is really important to some students. That's a big question that I get a lot. And again, there's a difference between a double major and a dual degree. So just kind of be careful. I'm not saying it's not possible to do it, but two BA degrees tend to work a little bit easier and you can finish in 4 years. If you go with a dual degree, which is like a BA or a BS, you may have to take some summer school classes and, we can figure that out, but it definitely is doable to double major. Or if you weren't interested in majoring in dance, you can still add the minor. So again, there's flexibility here for sure. But even within the curriculum, we have set classes for you to take, but there are some that you can pick and choose from. And at the end of this PowerPoint or this slide, I actually have an advisement sheet that you all can look at, and then a suggested course rotation that you can kind of see where you would end up each semester. And again, it's flexible. These are just some guidelines. And I'll explain that in just a second. And we have some alum here. This is Danny Christ. Danny Christ was one of my first minors, because when she was at High Point University, we didn't have the major yet. But yeah, she's dancing and making things happen in New York. And we just had our virtual boot camp this at the beginning of this semester, where all of us in our Department of Theater and Dance get together and we go over our mission and our values and just see each other. And we had some alum come back, and Danny was so gracious to be there and be a part of that. So it's just really exciting. We're really proud of her. I'm trying to remember. Again, pre-COVID, we get to go to a dance conference each year. It's called the American College Dance Association. And the best way I can describe it is kind of like it's a convention, where you take master classes and then you perform. It's a little bit of an adjudication process, but not in maybe the kind of competition sense that maybe some of you are used to. But we as a university can take two pieces that represent us. And Danny Chris actually for 2 years, I think, represented us. And I think 1 year her work actually made it to the gala. Her work was chosen. So we're really proud of Danny. Same thing. This is Sierra. I can remember, we were in ballet, and again, she was one of my minors, and we didn't have the major yet. And we were in ballet getting set up on the stage, because again, at that time, we didn't even have a studio. All of our dance classes were on stage of Hayworth Fine Arts. And it was like I think like a Thursday we had class, and she said, well, there's this audition coming up. It's tomorrow. It's in Florida. And I was like, well, go. Like, I don't even think she stayed for class. I was like, literally take your ballet shoes off, get in the car and drive. And she did. And she ended up like getting the job, and she performed with Disney for a few years. So, it's okay to miss class, especially when you're going to go to a professional audition, so it's really exciting. So to see these faces, it's just great. Same thing, Amanda Rossi. Again, like, because our program is still so new, Grace Ann is about to graduate, and she'll be our second dance major to ever graduate. So again, Amanda Rossi was a minor, and she ended up pursuing dance in a graduate school, and she now has her MA in dance. So we're really proud. And then lastly, this is Kelsey. She's been all over the world. She's a singer, actor, dancer, just again, just a great alum. And all of these people that I've just showed you, continuously come back and support our program because it was something that they believed in and they still believe in it. So we're really proud. This right here is an example of our dance major advisement sheet. So you can see here, in our required classes, there's 32 credits. And so these are definite, like these are the classes that you have to take. But again, you can see things like, modern dance, ballet, jazz, dance and new media, which is a dance for camera class, dance composition. And then there's an electives part as well where students can choose. So they can choose among, lighting, costume, makeup, a 4-credit class like that. Or if we have a student that's interested in teaching, we combine dance pedagogy and theater arts to get those 4 credits. And then you'll see below that our students have to take a series of 8 studio courses, which are just straight technique. There's no, there's no test or anything. There's no writing papers. It's just technique. And students can actually choose any combination. So if I have a student that is really interested in ballet, they could take all of them in ballet, like each semester. And those are just 1-credit classes. So I always, tell students, no matter what, whether they're a major, a minor, or if they just like to dance in our, productions, if they have room for those 1-credit classes, they need to load up on them, because I just think it's good practice, right? Be in the studio, work on your technique, But again, you see, there's a little bit of flexibility within these guidelines. And then again, this is just a suggested course rotation. How you can kind of plan it out. Again, this may change if we have a student that is a double major or has some other minors. It could vary. And then, like, you'll see here, typically the junior year, their fall semester, the students take dance composition. Well, I have a couple of students, I have 2 of my current dance majors are really interested in choreography. They don't want to wait till their junior year to take dance composition. So I'm like, well, okay, then take it your sophomore year, right? So like we change things around just to make it make sense for them. And that's okay. As long as the students are getting their classes in, I'm okay with it. Again, this is just a nice kind of framework for students to work in. But yeah, you can kind of see how we kind of divide. I want them dancing. I want our students, our dance majors, minors dancing as much as they can. So whenever they can add, a studio course here and there, I suggest it. So even though on the advisement sheet, they only take 8, they can repeat those courses as much as they want. So, which I think is very helpful for sure. And again, if anyone is interested, I can send all of this stuff. I can send these documents to you as well, or we can talk through some things. So if you want it, just got to email me and let me know. And so here's the fun question part of the evening. I'll start with this, and then again, if you have a question, put it in the chat, and then I'll stop sharing this when I go through these, and we can talk through some more. Because again, if you have a question, the person, somebody else on the virtual call may also have that same question. So are auditions required for entry into the program? We do not have auditions. Now, I do ask that prospective students send in a video of them dancing, whether it's a solo or, at the bar or in, class, like it's something, I just like to get a sense of what type of mover they are. Now I have heard, in the next couple of years, we are going to start auditioning to get into the program, but right now, because we're a BA degree liberal arts institution, we do not require an audition to get into the program. And then our class is restricted to dance majors only. Now, the only time I have classes that are restricted to dance majors is the incoming freshmen. They have to take DNC 1200, which is Exploration of Modern Dance. One of those sections is held for incoming dance majors and minors only, so that they get to dance together and start to kind of get a sense of community. Now, the other classes, because there are prerequisites in place, it is very rare in the ballet, in the jazz, dance composition that non-dance majors or minors would take it. And if they do want to take it, they have to come through me and get my permission, so I can try to make sure that, they're in the dance world, they know what they're doing and that kind of stuff. So I don't want to take anything away from the dance majors. So they're kind of restricted to dance majors and minors, but again, at the instructor's discretion. I hope that makes sense. Grace Ann, I think that you could answer this question. What is your favorite part about being a dance major?
So my favorite part about being a dance major is probably just all of the choreography and performance opportunities I've gotten. I had the opportunity to choreograph for fall dance last year, and so one of my pieces was in one of the performances. And then this year with my senior thesis project, I get a whole dance concert that's all my choreography, which has been so much fun to work on with all the other dance majors and minors and people in the department. And I think just getting performance opportunities outside of High Point, like I went to Brooklyn, New York with Lindsay one year and performed. And then I've performed in multiple like smaller festivals in like Greensboro and around the North Carolina area. So that's been a lot of fun.
Grace Ann's piece was actually, we were set to go to University of West Virginia, I think was our ACDA, and we were out for for spring break, and then like everyone else, we didn't go back. We were supposed to leave like that Saturday, and Grace Ann's, her work was actually selected to represent us, and I hate that she never was able to have that experience. But she's had some other great things to do as well. Grace Ann, do you want to talk a little bit about, I see this question, can I double major with dance at HPU, and how hard is that? I think again, you can talk about this, with you through your experience.
Mhm. Yeah, so I will be graduating from the Honors College with a double major in business administration and dance with a minor in marketing. So actually, with doing the honors program, I was able to take more of my major classes than I would have with doing the gen ed requirements, because the honors college is actually fewer credits than what your gen eds would be. And so that was what allowed me to be able to do the double major and the minor. I did have to take a few summer classes on top of all of that, but that just kind of depends on how many credits your second major would be.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's challenging, but it's definitely not impossible. And I would definitely say if you're going to pick a second major, to pick one that you think or that you would be passionate about. Don't just pick one to be picking a second major, because that makes it a lot easier when you actually like what it is and you're passionate about what you're doing. So
Yeah, that's great advice for sure. Definitely, it's important to be passionate about, right? Life is way too short to not love what we're doing. But again, it goes back like what I was saying before, the difference between the double major and the dual degree. Again, these things aren't impossible, but some are a little bit tricky. Like I know that double majoring in education and dance is difficult. It's not out of the question, but it is difficult. Same thing I think with like maybe there's one fashion merchandising, maybe something like that I think is, it may be just a little bit harder to do, but again, not out of the question. Let me see here. I'm looking at these other questions. Sorry, give me just 1 second. Can I also be involved with music, choral groups, or theater? Yeah, yes, for sure. That is definitely doable. I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. Sorry. My husband has like this speaker happening. Okay, so yes, you can be involved. There are a lot of things to get involved with at High Point University. There's Greek life. There are other organizations. So yeah, you can be a part of all of those things. But for me, it just comes down to time management. And I think Grace Ann can probably attest to that as well. Like you have to be organized. you got to stay on top of it. You have other classes that you're supposed to be doing. So, yeah, you can be a part of all of those things. You just have to be super organized. And I think at some point, if a student becomes too involved with too many things, in my opinion, it might be hard to kind of put, all that you have into those things if you're too spread out. So again, it's possible to be involved, but again, I would probably keep it to just a couple of things so you can put more into it for sure. Grace Ann, how's that chat going? What do we have? So what's come up on that chat?
There's a couple. The first one is it hard to be a dance major and be on the school's dance team?
Okay. No, I don't think it's difficult. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I haven't had any dance majors be on the dance team. I've had quite a few minors. So no, I'm not going to say it might be difficult when it comes to like performance time. I know sometimes there's some overlap there, especially in the spring season. In a typical year, this year's a little bit funky, right? Because of COVID and their performance schedule at the basketball games. But we've had a little bit of an overlap with some of our spring productions, and we just figured out again, it's so easy. Like I send an email, to her, hey, these students have tech or these students have performance, and okay, we figure it out, like as long as we're communicative, collaborative, we want the best for what's our, for our students. So what else do we have?
Where does the recording of this session go?
No. I will find out. I think we're gonna put it like on maybe our website. Holly will be able to help me out with that, but I'll figure that out. All right, what else? I see, is there a dress code for classes? In some of the classes, yes. I know that in Carrie Ann Sparks in her ballet class, she, leotard, tights. I think she allows some like maybe ballet skirts, I think. But yeah, ballet tights, pretty standard for, a regular ballet class. I do not require a dress code other than, obviously like no jeans. And I make a joke the first day of class, I ask students not to wear like the booty shorts, because if we're doing floor work or anything like that, like it just, the shorter biker shorts just don't work, right? Like, you need to wear leggings or, some yoga pants or something. But I usually ask for something form fitting so that I can just see, the body, but nothing like, as far as my classes are concerned. And I think the same goes for Chris Stevens, who is another faculty member. So yeah, what else do we have? Grace Ann, can you see?
If you are a dance major or minor, are you required to take all three modern, jazz, and ballet, or can you pick and choose? And are there any hip hop classes?
Ooh, that's a great question. I should have put the minor advisement sheet up on here, and I'm really sorry. So the minor, the minor you have to take, sorry, give me a second, my brain. You still have to take the intro, the exploration of modern dance. You have to take ballet. And I think in the minor, you can choose between jazz and tap. You don't have to take them both. And then the minor, you actually take 2 studio credits, dance composition, dance and new media, and then a theater participation. It's about half. I think there's 23 credits in the minor. So basically how I kind of tell prospective students is if they want to have the minor, they're taking, a dance class each semester, and that's kind of how it evens out. But yeah. What else? Do we have hip hop? Well, I saw that one. I saw somebody had wrote. So we don't have hip hop in our like core curriculum, but I do bring in guest artists, like I said before, and I changed that genre up as well. And we actually had a hip hop guest artist come in what year was that, Grace Ann? 2018. In 2018. His name was JoJo. He is a friend of mine. We went to undergrad together at East Carolina, and he is a professional dancer, has danced all over the world. He lives in LA, and he's really gracious and will come in and teach. And we've actually brought him back several times after that and just had regular master classes. But he actually set work for for our faculty and guest artist concert, which was really nice. So, and then I know that our dance company also will offer some hip hop classes as well. They change the genre up so it's not the same thing, each week. And again, I'm pretty sure that's in the rotation as well. So again, it's not part of our curriculum. But I try to bring it in because I am not a hip hop dancer, and I would never try to teach that that art form. But I have brought in those who are equipped to teach it for sure. So hope that answers. What else do we have? What else do you have, Grace Ann? What are we missing?
Are you going to live stream your upcoming performance?
We are. That's right. We have a performance coming up, and it's really exciting. We are going to live stream that, and if you're on this call, we have record of those that are on this, and I'm happy to send an email out, and we'll make sure that you have that link to that live stream. Yeah, we have our Spring Dance 1 is our student choreography concert, and how that happens is that students that have taken dance composition have to submit a proposal about a work that they want to think about, create, and work on. And with faculty mentor, they hold auditions. They have, I think they're required to have at least 2 rehearsals, but they can have 2 to 3 rehearsals per week. They have to be at least an hour and a half to 2 hours long each rehearsal. And our students, we just had an informal showing last week, and super proud of our students, especially in this time when we've had students go out because of COVID, quarantine. We're still finding ways to rehearse. Our students are doing things virtually, and it's just really exciting. And I was watching the informal showing, like almost on the verge of tears, just because just very proud of them and the things that they're able to accomplish. And again, see, this is happening. I'm on a call right now. Okay. Hey, can you go downstairs? Yeah, it is Grace Ann. Go.
Hi, Lydian.
See that, everybody. Okay, sorry. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so we will live stream that. And again, super proud of our students. And it's just each year we get a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. And yeah, I don't typically like to cry, and but I was on the verge last Friday when I was watching them. So just really exciting. So yes, we will live stream that. And then Grace Ann has her senior capstone project a few weeks after that. We'll also be live streaming that as well. So we have a lot going on. And that's another thing about High Point. I should have mentioned at the beginning of this, because we're a smaller university, I think, we've been able to handle, the quarantine and the outbreaks, and given our students the attention that they've needed, not to seem not connected to what's happening in the world. But I think because we're a little bit smaller, I think we've been able to manage it just a little bit, just better. It's just smaller. And so again, more manageable. What else? We have more questions. Grayson, can you take a look? What else do we have?
What would be your biggest piece of advice for incoming dance majors? I think for me, it would be to kind of just come in with an open mind and honestly just be yourself and try and make connections with other students and your professors as soon as possible. I know for me, when I first start out somewhere new and I'm meeting new people, I tend to be a little quieter and a little more shy. But definitely reach out to people. I know now I'm texting and calling Lindsay almost every day.
Hey, that's what it's for, right?
So yeah, definitely make those connections and just become friends with as many people as you possibly can. And even when guest artists come in, just always ask for their phone number and their emails. And usually they're willing to give it to you. And I know I've reached out to multiple ones that I've worked with in the past, and they've given me tons of information and tons of help. So.
Yeah, that's great. Grace Ann, if you'll look at some more, there was a question on the slide. I thought this is a great question. How do you help students prepare for a specific field they want to go into? For example, how would you teach or mentor a student who wants to become a dance physical therapist versus a student who wants to perform? So obviously, I'm not a physical therapist. I'm a dance teacher, I'm a dance choreographer, I'm a dance maker. But the thing about High Point is across our university, we want to work together. So whatever a student needs, I'll help them find a mentor in that particular department. Again, finding ways to make it make sense for the student. If I have a student that comes to High Point that wants to go into, physical therapy or exercise science, I don't have to push them to be on stage in every rehearsal, right? Like they have other work they have to do to accomplish that other major or goal, for them. So it's just a difference. And again, it comes down to the fact that we're smaller. I think that the students get that individual attention that they would need and want in those situations. Again, because we're smaller, we can do that. We're a smaller faculty, but right now that ratio works, and the students can get that. So I know that students coming in don't always want to perform, right? So I have to seek out the opportunities for that student to get them connected to what they need and what they want. Another example is I have a student right now currently that she's a beautiful performer. She doesn't want to perform when she leaves High Point. She wants to be a dance maker, right? So every chance I get, I have a relationship with the North Carolina Dance Festival. Whenever they have workshops, whenever they have things coming up, I'm sending her, hey, look at this, hey, look at that, right? If there's something that comes up across, at a different university or a different dance company or whatever, I'm sending it their way. That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. So again, I am aware that just because a dance major comes to High Point, they may not even be all that interested in performing. They just want to be, involved in the process, or art making, or, dance, writing, right? Dance, be a dance critic. So, journalism, photography, right? But because High Point has, I have relationships with other people, around the university, I can get that student what they need for sure. So I don't always push, you got to perform, you got to perform, you got to perform, because that's not what we're about. If a student wants to perform, then of course I'm going to do that, but it's my job to find out what the student needs and wants and how to get them there, when they graduate. Right now, Grace Ann and I are, working on getting our, she's working on her capstone, but we're also in the process, she's getting choreography reels together. She's getting audition materials to try to audition virtually so that when she leaves, she's got something lined up. And that's my job. It's what I'm supposed to do. I hope that, I don't know if that answered that question. I hope that it did.
Sorry, my computer's actually dying. I'm gonna go grab my charger and I'll be right back.
Okay. What else do we have?
If you looked out 5 years, what would the dance program look like?
Well, that's an interesting question. To be honest with you, I would love to have a little bit more credit hours in my major. I would love to have other specialized classes, special topics courses like that, so I would say I would love to, introduce probably 4, maybe 4 more classes. And I know this probably sounds crazy, but I don't want it big. I feel like it would lose the intimacy and that relationship that I get to have with my students. I know that probably sounds crazy. It probably would make the president of our university might be cringe a little bit, but I like having these personal relationships with my students. I like to see the growth, and when we're a little bit smaller like this, I think I can invest a little bit more into them individually. I could, maybe see maybe 15 each semester, but I don't know if I would ever want to go past 15 incoming dance majors. I just don't think that that's a number that I would like. But yeah, 5 years from now, I see us just a little bit bigger. I see us in new studios. We were supposed to have some new spaces, and again, totally acknowledging the world that we're in. We had to give up those spaces so that our classrooms across other schools could socially distance, and but again, I think that shows the resiliency of us as dancers, right? We're thankful, we're appreciative. Just let us dance. Just let us do the work. Let us make the dances. Let us show the dances. Let's do some reading. Like, let's do this. And, if we get a new shiny studio, then that's great.
There is a question that says, I personally aspire to go into professional ballet company. So how many ballet/point classes could I take per week?
That's a great question, and to be honest, I feel like, did we talk about this before? Whoever asked that question, I think I remember. Yeah. You know, if you're interested in a professional ballet company, you might want to look at a BFA type of program. Unfortunately, right? Well, not unfortunately, like that's good for you. Like you should do what you want to do, right? At High Point, we have the 4-credit ballet class that you could take. And then we would also have a ballet studio. So in theory, if in that one semester, you would have ballet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So again, it's probably not the hours and hours that you would want in the studio, but as far as technique, you would have that, in the mornings and then in rehearsals at night. And we don't technically have point class, but our instructors allow students to go on point if the instructor feels that they're ready for it. So again, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I know that that's probably not what you want to hear, but I'm always honest with my prospective students, maybe to a fault. Okay. Do you teach theater majors? Yes, I personally do teach some theater majors. Some of the classes that I think the students can take, or they take, jazz, or they may take tap. I currently have quite a few theater majors right now in my tap class, which is fun. I've taught in the past movement for the actor. I'm not teaching it this semester. And then I in the past have done the choreography for like our musicals. And so I'm kind of involved there. But yes, I do teach theater majors as well. And they'll sometimes end up in the DNC 1200 class, which is exploration of modern dance. I always like to push that class because if I have a theater major that isn't, a full on dancer, it gets them in their body. So they get a little bit more of a feel for, just kind of pedestrian movement or stretching and stuff like that. So, but yes, there are some dance classes that our theater majors take for sure. Is there anything else? Did we get through all of those questions?
I think we answered all of the ones in the chat. Oh, there's another one. How much access do you have to the studios as a dance major?
Full access. Yeah, dance majors and minors. It's kind of a hassle, to be honest with you, each semester, but we do it anyway because our studios are protected. Like at High Point, you have a passport, which gets you into spaces. We have to reset it. So like the first couple of weeks I'm getting, Lindsay, I can't get in the studio. Lindsay, you got to update my passport. I'm like, okay, so and I'll send an email to building access and we take care of it. But yes, as a dance major, as a dance minor, you have access to the Black Box Theater, the studio, and the stage when it's available. So, right now our students, have been rehearsing, in the studio or in our Black Box because we've had a production, in the theater, but we have a schedule set. So we have a facilities manager. So if I have if a choreographer wants to practice on stage, they just have to email me or email Sean, and we allow them access to rehearse in the space as well if it's available. So yeah, you have full access to whatever we have. You just have to sign out. We have a really sophisticated method where you sign it out on the door. It's very, very high tech. What else can I do for you all? It's 7:44. I've been talking for about 45 minutes. I think it's important to note too, students that come in, to be a part of our dance community is a mixture of majors, minors, and people that just want to be involved. Now, I highly recommend for dancers to be a major or to be a minor because why not, right? If you have a passion and a love for it, why wouldn't you do it if you can? And if you're at High Point and you can do it in 4 years, you just should be doing it, right? So I encourage that, but it's not a requirement. you know, for you to be involved in our program, you know, you do have to audition to be in our productions. But there's a mixture. There's a mixture of majors, minors, and people that just maybe want to do it, or maybe their major doesn't allow, they don't have room in their schedule. But we are still, you know, Grace Ann and I are very open-armed and welcoming to students, right? If you want to put the work in, if you value the things that we do, if you value process, then we're going to accept you in, you know, into our community. And I think we have a really great community. You know, we're you know, diverse. Um, we're 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 just a nice group of people to be around, you know, and I think that's important, especially making that transition from high school to college, to find somewhere where you belong, to find somewhere where you feel at home, I think is really important. And I think, and again, I know that I'm biased, right? And Grace Ann is a little bit biased. I think that we provide that as long as you're willing and open to do the work. And I think that's important. If anybody wants to ask or just talk for a second, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself, but, oh, yep.
Okay, so I was looking down a lot during this informational session, but I was just taking notes. I swear it wasn't like a, oh my gosh, she's being so rude. Just wanted to let you know, because I have the best memory for choreography, but anything else is just in one ear and out the other. So I just took a whole bunch of notes to remember everything.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I never once thought that. I never once was like, oh my gosh, she's not paying
Oh,
attention.
well, that's great. Also, my name isn't Liam. I had to use my brother's computer. It's Caitlin.
Caitlin, I remember you, Caitlin.
Oh, yay.
It's good to see you again.
You too.
Yeah. Well, if there isn't anything else, you know, we can say goodbye. I'm also happy to stay on if anybody wants a little bit more personal kind of one-on-one with not in front of the group. We'll make sure that we get the live stream up for our dance concerts, anything we have going on. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I am going to, in the next couple of weeks, Christine Stevens is going to be holding some virtual master classes for her contemporary studio class. Now, it'll be like a Zoom type of situation. If you want to participate, you can. And it's in the middle of the day, so some of you may have school. So we're going to record it, and then we can post it. Because I did get some questions about, well, you know, what do your classes look like? What's the structure of your class? You know, that way you can kind of get a sense, because most of the students in that particular class are actually majors and minors. So it might be a nice way for you just to see her and see Christine Stevens and the work that she does as well. But we'll open that up, we'll get that situated, and then we'll also record it just in case you have school and can't be a part of it, but you can still at least, you know, look back and see. But yeah, anything like that, we're open to. You know, Grace Ann loves talking to prospective students. So I oftentimes will talk to Grace Ann. I know if y'all want to set something up, more than happy to do that as well. But I can't stress to you enough how important it is. And it's really tough, you know, when you're trying to find, you know, your home for 4 years and where you want to be. You know, my advice is, yeah, you need to go experience and go and see it. And you can't really do that right now. And I know that that's really tough. So if you can ask to be virtually, you know, part of a rehearsal, right? Or see a dance class, you got to try to do that, because it's a big decision, right? It is. These are 4 years that are going to greatly shape who you are. So you got to pick the right one, right? Make sure it's the right fit for you. You know, my last pitch is, if you are looking for a smaller, you know, BA liberal arts university or program, you know, don't count us out. We're strong. We're small, but we're strong. We're student oriented, student driven. You're going to get a lot of opportunity. So if you're looking for that environment, you know, keep looking at High Point, right? You know, it may be a really nice home for you. It may be a place where you find the artist, the dancer, or another career, right? That you want to go try out, and you're going to find teachers that promote that and want you to experience that. So that's it. If there's anything else, oh, look, Grace Ann put that, her email and phone in there. That's super nice of you. Yeah, reach out to Grace Ann. And I've also got some other majors too that love to talk to prospective students. I know that I had another, I don't know if there's anyone on this call, but she's interested in dance and psychology. Well, I have a current dance major. She's a freshman that is psychology and dance. So she can kind of give you a little bit of insight to that, as a freshman coming in, what that's been like. So yeah. And of course, yeah, we can talk some more for sure. But yeah, it was really, really nice to see some of your faces again. And if there's anything else that I can do for you, I think most of you have my email from one of the many emails that I've sent to you. I can also, make sure that you have my office phone or my cell phone, because this is an important decision for sure. So if there's anything else, if there's not anything else, we'll say goodbye for now. And I'm happy to set up some more one-on-ones if that is something that you're interested in. So I really appreciate all of you taking your time to be here and listen to me talk for almost an hour. Okay, I did pretty good. I can talk a lot. And Grace Ann, I appreciate you being here as well. I know that you're busy in rehearsal, so taking your time is greatly appreciated for sure. So, all right, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, Miss Caitlin. Hey.
Hi,
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
you too. So I just wanted to say